She was born with a full head of hair. She was born totally formed. She was totally healthy, and we couldn't be happier that that was the case. Tony, I enjoyed getting you booted from the book signing. I really enjoyed taking part in that.
Oh, the book signing that you weren't at while you were
working? I had a big part
working?
in that, getting you kicked out. It was fucking awesome to see. Would have no reason to lie to you, especially when it comes to these things like,
did her mom abuse her?
Or
In your mind?
Absolutely, her mother abused her. Are we still together? Or is our baby real or fake? Is the pregnancy fake, etc.? Like, why would I? What reason or motive would I have to lie?
Because the woman you're with has a history of lying.
Literally no reason to lie about our child. Why would I lie about the baby's due date?
Under no circumstance do they induce you at 36 weeks. And that's
neat.
coming from a mother of 2 kids.
Well,
Under no circumstance.
You really brought this fucking girl on, dude. I swear to God.
Wait.
Gypsy Rose Blanchard's baby daddy Ken made a surprise appearance on Sir Morbidec's YouTube channel the other night. Now, to say things got a little heated would be an understatement. So we're going to go over some of the key points and highlights that were talked about during this live stream. If you'd like to watch the full live for yourselves, I will have it linked in the description of this video, but without further ado, let's get into it. Now, right off the bat, Ken joins the live stream and tells everybody that he hates everyone, and everybody kind of laughed it off for a little bit, and then they start getting in asking him questions. Now, many people have pointed out in comments that Ken's voice sounds different or almost sounds like he's speaking with a lisp, and apparently Ken said that he was driving in his car, so there are times throughout the live where he loses connection, has to get off, and then rejoin the live.
Talk about why you hate, I guess, this certain group.
Well, I mean, you guys do spread a lot of misinformation, but I'm here to correct it if you want.
So Hello Starlight kicks it off with the first question, which is, why did Gypsy have her baby a whole month early?
Our baby was born at 36 weeks. She was a tiny bit early, but she was perfectly healthy, and she never went to the NICU. She was a natural birth, and she came home with us 2 days later, and she's been incredible. She's been growing. She's been the best baby ever, and I mean, what else do you want to know?
Oh, I think that's amazing to hear.
Okay, so we got that out of the way. Next question.
Okay, well, my question was, so does that confirm that, like, you didn't hook up and cheat before Gypsy admitted?
Everything I've told you has been the truth.
Okay.
How much
so
did
I
the
wanted to
baby
know.
weigh? How much did the baby weigh at birth? I'm just
I'm not
curious.
gonna disclose that.
Wait,
Okay.
I have a question because he just said he never lied. He never lied, and he did. You said in Natasha Cooper's live that Gypsy was on birth control. That is a lie. Yes or no?
No, it was not a lie.
Okay.
So
Oh
she
my
was
God.
on
But
birth
you
control?
But you also said in that same live that you guys were just friends and weren't having relations.
It was the first time that we met up, and we were just friends.
Ken, the way that Lifetime, the trailer for season 2 coming up here, we're going to see in March, I believe, portrayed you, do you feel like it seemed like you were confused, as if you're like, I didn't
That's how
want this
trailers are set
baby,
up.
I'm surprised.
They're set up to make you want to watch what the actual context of the conversation was, but you'll have to
True.
watch the show to find out what that context was.
Well,
So
yeah,
you're telling us Lifetime set us up for...
I'm not telling you that Lifetime did anything. I'm just telling you that trailers are set up to make you want to watch the episode for the full context. So if you want to watch the episode for the full context of that conversation that I had, you'll have to watch the show.
It just seemed like what you said in the trailer was you were surprised that, or you were disappointed that this baby was born the way it was, and you weren't even ready for it, and you thought
Nope.
you should have got the divorce.
like
The
I said,
divorce should
you'll
have been
have to-
settled first before you actually...
Again, you'll have to watch the show to find out the full context of that conversation. I can't.
Ken,
I have
why
no
is,
control over how edits are made.
Now, me personally, I'm just wondering why Ken continues to do this, where he randomly will just pop up on Morbid's live streams. Like, he can't talk about anything that's going on during the show because he signed an NDA, so it's like, what are you doing here?
When Gypsy was on Bree's live 2 weeks ago, or 3 weeks ago, whenever it was, she said that she was supposed to be induced on that day. Why so early?
No, the original induction date was supposed to be the 16th, not the 22nd, and but the baby made an early appearance. But luckily, she was totally healthy and happy, and the doctor sent us home. There was no NICU, there was no C-section. It was a natural birth. I swear to that. I have no reason to lie about that. I have no motive to lie about that. That is the truth. And we got lucky, and I'm just happy and blessed that she was healthy, and everything has been great.
Now, the talk about how Gypsy was supposed to be induced before her due date is going to become a major talking point throughout this live. So I just want to explain it before we get to that section. We now know from this live stream that Gypsy's due date was January 22nd. She actually gave birth on December 28th on her own. Ken reveals that Gypsy was actually scheduled to be induced on January 16th. So that's about 6 days before her actual due date that doctors decided to go ahead and schedule her to come into the hospital where they would induce her labor and make her body give birth. So I just wanted to explain that before we get into it because that is going to be a major talking point.
Has your mom, Raina, been able to see your baby?
Yeah, she came down and helped us for the first week. It was the 4 of us living in the house together for the first week.
So right after the baby was born, Ken, Gypsy, and Ken's mother stayed at Ken's house for a week. And a lot of people were bringing this up in the comments saying that, well, Gypsy just violated parole again because she's not allowed to stay at Ken's house for a week. She can only stay for a few days at a time. Now, did she possibly get permission from her parole officer to stay at Ken's house for a week since she just had a baby? That could be possible, but they don't really talk about that again.
What
And,
house? Your house or the Blanchards?
My house in Metairie. And she stayed with us and helped us bring our baby into the world and gave us a bunch of, pointers and helped us with, accommodating her the best we could. And I thank my mom for that greatly. And it's been great so far.
So is Gypsy living with you permanently? Permanently. Sorry.
No, she's not. She can't. I spend a few days with her here. I spend a few days with her there. And we make it work as best we can. Well, I mean, when she's with me, obviously, we're all 3 together. When she goes back to cut off, it's her and her family there. And I try to come down when I can. But I also work full-time here in Metairie, or in New Orleans. Has not been an instance yet of me at home with Aurora by myself without Gypsy.
Breastfeeding.
We're formula feeding.
Okay.
Now, a very telling portion of this live is going to be where they bring up Gypsy's new book, My Time to Stand. And when asked about it, Ken refuses to talk about this book.
Does Gypsy still suck baby I'm sorry.
Okay.
Hey, come on.
Well, if you're gonna get rude and
I'm sorry, it's in her
inappropriate, then I'm
book.
not
It's in her book. It's a fair question.
Did you read the book, Ken?
I have read the book.
And what are
I'm
your
not going to
thoughts?
talk about the book. We're not going to get into the book.
Why?
Why not,
I
Ken?
just don't want to. I don't want to.
It doesn't
What are
matter.
your thoughts about it?
We're not going to talk about this.
If you were to rate it 1 to
Are you
5,
proud of
like
her book?
a movie.
Are you proud? Are you proud
I'm proud
of
of
it?
Gypsy for sharing her story, and that's all there is to say.
Were you at the book signing?
Wait,
I was
hold on.
not. I had to work.
You
I
had
have
to
a
work.
question. I have a question, just real quick.
Go ahead.
Did you learn new things when you read the book?
That's a great
Of course.
question.
That's a good
Of
question.
course.
What did you
So
learn?
was
I'm
there
not
a
gonna
lot of
talk about the book.
stories? Well, I'm not. I'm just generally asking. Like, were
Well, I
there
know you're
stories
asking
in
about it,
there
but
that
I'm not gonna talk about the book.
Was the
so we can move on.
was it
it must have been very emotional for you?
It's a very emotional story to read Gypsy's book.
how come
She's
you
been
didn't
through a
know
lot.
about that
but
stuff? If I'm just wondering. I mean, was it a surprise to you? Were you like, "Whoa, Gypsy! Wow, you didn't share this with me"? I mean, we have a baby together, and
We're gonna move on from the book conversation.
So obviously Gypsy's book is a toughy subject for Ken. And I mean, understandable. That book has some very, very vulgar things in it. And they didn't actually issue a warning about the vulgarness until after the book had been released. And so many people were having reactions to it. And remember, Gypsy dedicated this book to her daughter Aurora so that someday when she grows up, she can read it to really understand Gypsy's story. Now, this next clip, Becca Scoops joins the live and she's going to ask more questions about that induction date.
Hey, I'm back. This is Becca Scoops. Hi, Ken. I have a question, and this might be a really stupid question. I was out walking my dog. I'm a dog lover too, Ken. Did you guys say, or did Ken say that Gypsy had an induction date of like January 16th? Is that right?
Yeah.
That's correct.
Okay, so induction meaning, I know I only had 3 kids. I wasn't an OB nurse, but meaning they would induce labor on the 16th, right?
Correct.
So they weren't going to let her go into like natural, just like go into spontaneous labor, right?
I don't know what that means. I mean, I'm just saying that.
Okay, so like
they
let's say
don't
your due date.
induce.
Usually
The
when
original due date was the 22nd. We decided
Right.
with our
But
doctors
usually
to
they don't
induce.
induce with the
Yeah,
first
they don't, so-
pregnancy until you're past your due date.
So
Well, that's
here,
not
here's
always true.
can I
For,
talk?
just to
Can I
All right,
talk?
hold
Go
on.
ahead,
Let Becca
Go
go.
ahead.
So
Anytime.
usually Ken, what happens is like when you have a due date, which for Gypsy it would be January 22nd, I think you guys were saying, especially with the first baby, which is usually late, not early. That you don't induce labor. You don't induce labor, period. You want that baby to be bacon
Of
in the
course,
oven
we want it.
just let me
Yes,
talk,
and
as
we
long as possible. Now, I'm only asking because that you guys brought up that, and I'm not trying to catch you in anything, Ken. Trust me, I'm not a mean person. I'm just trying to understand, because we know that Gypsy had some health issues, and I'm wondering if that was why the induction date, like her OBGYN was like, look, let's, or maybe you don't know, Ken. Maybe you don't
I
know.
was wondering that
I know
too.
everything because I was there for everything. I went to every appointment. I went to every doctor's appointment.
Good.
And the baby was originally set at a due date of the 22nd. That's based off of, the beginning of the pregnancy. And the doctor decided that, hey, let's go ahead and do it on the 16th at earliest. And the baby made an earlier appearance. Luckily for us, she was born totally healthy and never had to go to the NICU. It was not a C-section. It was a natural birth. And
Okay,
that's really all there
I'm
is
so
to say.
happy, and I'm sorry I was out of breath. I was walking my dog and I was running, and someone in the chat was like, "She's not doesn't have good energy." Well, I'm sorry, I was running. Yeah, well, thank you for answering that. That was just interesting about having an induction date, and we us, we want to know everything.
Now Morbid addresses the fact that Ken agreed to do a one-on-one interview with him and still hasn't done it, yet he went on the Vial Files podcast.
To me, I have contractual obligations, and I have
Lifetime
exactly, and I have a parent company that oversees those obligations.
parent.
So I have to have permission to do
I didn't
live
know that.
one-on-one interviews, and that's the reason why, yes, I'm allowed to go on
What-
Vial Files or whatever because I get permission from the network. However, I cannot do a one-on-one interview with you because I do not have permission from the network, and that is the reason why. It's not because I've gone back on my word. It's not because I was lying to you or fibbing to you.
Okay.
That is just that's the reason. So you
That's
have to
fine.
understand there's contractual obligations that I have.
AKA, I'm getting paid. No, but I really wish Morbid would have asked him during that time if he was getting paid for that contractual obligation.
So
Is there, like,
when does that contract end so we could get that done?
that was gonna be my
I don't
question.
have an answer for you right now. I mean, I'm still under contract right now. This is not considered a one-on-one interview, so
No,
I'm
it's
just
not.
talking to you at the
All right.
moment. But as far as a one-on-one interview goes, if that time comes when
I'm going to
when
hold
I'm
you
no
to
longer
it, buddy.
okay.
Ken, in the back of your mind, do you ever wonder maybe this is Ryan's baby?
Well, because of the fact that we've already done a paternity test and posted those results, and I understand there's a whole tinfoil hat community that wants to believe that everything we post is fake or bullshit or photoshopped. I literally have no motive or reason, personally speaking for myself, to lie about that. So I'm telling you with 100% certainty, because I did a paternity test, that is my child. And I have absolutely zero reason to lie about that. Nothing I have ever said to anybody on any live panel, podcast, etc., has been a lie. So if you want to believe, and
Are you
there's
sure,
I know
Ken?
that there's a community out there that wants to
Because we all
believe.
lie, Ken.
Listen, of course we all lie, but I have not lied about my child. Now,
No one.
I know there's a
Okay.
whole community out there that wants to believe that there was a fake pregnancy and that it's a fake baby, and there's nothing that I can do to change your mind. Minds that have been made up on irrationality cannot be changed.
Yeah, for the
I
record,
I can't help you.
I never
So
thought
if
the
you,
baby was fake.
I'm
I
not
think that
saying
whole
you
theory is
did. I'm not saying
ridiculous.
you did. I'm not speaking to you directly. I'm just saying to anybody listening who wants to believe that this was a fake pregnancy, that Gypsy wore a fake belly. I mean, it's just so fucking insane that I
I don't
can't even
believe any of
try
I
that.
never
to
Just
thought
for
that.
the
That's just
record,
weird.
have a
I
rational conversation with that person because it's just so ridiculous that I don't even want to, honestly.
Yeah, no, I get that.
So we got the initial photograph of the baby, and it looks like it came from Christy, correct?
Oh no, I mean that picture was taken. Talking about the
I mean,
picture of
according
me
to
hovering
Gypsy,
over Gypsy.
it came from Christy, and she wasn't pleased about. She said that on Breeze Live.
Oh, and then he was like, I'm so excited. I would really like to announce. And because I have been in the media for, a year now, or, it's been longer, but hardcore out in the world media, in my mind, announce meant like People Magazine or something like that. And so I was like a hardcore no. I was like, no, we're not announcing. Why? Like our family, our friends know. Why does the world have to know? And so it wasn't until he's like, I just want to post a picture on my Instagram. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like, first of all, which one? Because I don't want to show her, because I was very, protective, and I still am very protective. So I was like, I want to make sure that we agree on the picture. He's like, do you want me to tag you in it? I'm like, no, this is, and essentially this is what you want to do. It's your Instagram. I'm not going to tell you how to run your Instagram. All I'm going to say is my input on which picture that I think we could both come to an agreement on, to where it's still protecting her, but you can still have your moment to where you can announce as a proud father. And so once we had an understanding about that, then he posted the picture. Me, on the other hand, I'm still not going to post a picture. I don't even post pictures on my private Facebook. Like TMZ and all those media stuff, like they follow our social media platforms. So when we post something on our social media, then mainstream media picks up afterward. So TMZ did reach out to Ken and wanted a comment. They were going to print the article regardless of anything.
Short and simple comment.
Yeah, exactly. So he's like, the baby's healthy. We're happy. All is good. Christy, she was like, I got offended, but then like we had a conversation because she was like, somebody's going to get it. Realistically, one day when y'all are out and about, somebody's going to get a picture of the baby. And I'm like, she's like, well, you should sell it. That way, if somebody's going to make money off of it, should be you and not some rando. And I got really offended and a little upset with her over it. And I'm like, absolutely not. There is a huge difference between if somebody takes a picture where I'm not even aware, we're at the park. Let's just say we're at the park. Somebody snaps a picture of us walking through the park. I can't control what other people do. That's just the unfortunate reality of it. But I can control what I do, and I make the choice to not exploit my child.
I don't know what you're talking about, because to be honest, I don't follow the TikTok drama.
No, there's only one
don't
picture of you
Correct.
in the hospital.
Yeah, that's a photo that I released. I posted on my Instagram.
Yeah, but you didn't take it, so somebody took it.
No, I didn't take it.
And I believe it was
recall who
Christy.
took it.
Is it fair to say?
I'm not entirely sure, to be honest, who took the picture.
I'm just saying, Gypsy said that it was Christy, and she was kind of pissed.
Maybe it was.
Dude,
I
come on,
couldn't be sure.
know. You were there, bro.
I'm telling you right now, I swear to God, I'm not entirely sure who took the picture. We had a lot of people come in and out of our room, and I don't remember exactly who took the picture.
Now Pink Pony Club, the content creator who flew out to the book signing to live stream the event for Morbid, is going to join the panel and listen to what Ken says to her.
Hi, can you guys hear me okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay, so I just wanted to
Hey,
address
Pink Pony, I
something.
enjoyed getting you booted from the book signing. I really enjoyed
you
taking
did
part in
that?
that.
Oh,
Yeah,
the book
I
signing
had a
that you
big
weren't
part.
at while
I had
you
a
were
big part
working.
in that, getting you kicked out. It was fucking awesome to see. I loved it.
So you were
I
working
just love
two
the
Hey,
fact.
that's
jobs.
I
weird.
love the fact.
That's
Like,
I
you
love
don't
the
get-
fact.
hold on.
Wait,
Ken.
Hold
Hold
wait.
on. Let Pink Pony and Starlight, I'll let you talk. Pink Pony, you want to respond to? That's a very weird flex.
Well, hold on. Let me finish. I just
Yeah.
love the fact that you paid for travel accommodation to get down there for the book signing, and then we got your ass kicked out. I just loved that, and then watching you just kick rocks
love
was
that?
hilarious.
Why?
After
I
Starlight,
loved
can I
it.
say something?
Really?
Just proving more and more how much of a douche you really are, Ken.
That's totally
No,
fine.
but
I mean,
what's
hey,
funny
listen,
Guys,
I
let
didn't pay
Pink
to
Pony
travel somewhere
respond to that,
to try
please.
and harass somebody and then get kicked out of the door. So
She
I mean,
didn't
that's on
harass
you.
anybody,
Yeah,
number
she
one,
didn't
Ken.
harass
Come on,
anyone.
buddy.
Well, she planned to. So
Okay, well, actually, Gypsy was harassing me via my TikTok about a week before the event. Number one.
I don't know
Number
about that,
two,
but you know.
number two, let me finish. Number two, I find it interesting that you are such a good multitasker that you could simultaneously be at work and have me removed from
No,
the
I
book
said I got
signing.
off work,
So
but go ahead.
kudos to you. You just said that you were working and you didn't attend the
Oh,
book
I was
signing, and
working and
now
I had the book
suddenly you
signing, but
had
I
a
can still
part in
text,
that.
right? I can still text at work. But anyway, go ahead.
Are you going to let me finish, or are you going to keep
No, go
talking
ahead.
over
Go
me?
ahead. Keep talking. Go ahead.
Okay, so the reason why I joined this panel is because there's a really interesting message from Fancy to Ken from years ago that was dumped from, I don't know, Fancy's files on Reddit, where Fancy is attempting to sabotage Nick with Ken's help. So I texted you that screenshot, Morbid. I would like Ken to address that. Fuck the book signing. Fuck the book signing. Address that.
Okay, so let's see if we could tackle it one at a time here. Let's get to the text. But why do you get so much joy, Ken, out of
I just
kicking
find it
Pink
hilarious
Pony
that
out?
somebody traveled, paid for accommodations,
Do you
hotels to
know-
try and harass the book signing, and then got booted at
Wait,
the door. I just find that
wait,
funny.
Ken, do you know the
Okay.
reason behind why it wasn't to harass Gypsy? We were there for Dee Dee.
It was to honor Dee Dee. Do you have a problem with that?
I just find it funny they got booted at the door. Hilarious.
You
Okay,
find
but
it
do
funny.
you have a
All
problem
right,
with
well,
that?
that's cool.
I find it funny that
All
Lifetime's
the money
not
you
paying you
wasted is
enough
just
that you
music to
still
my
have to
ears.
work
I
a
just
second
enjoy
fucking
it.
job. That's the funny
Ooh,
part.
cracking
The
up.
funny
Oh, so Pink Pony Club just said, I find it funny that Lifetime isn't paying you enough, that you still have to work a second job.
Sure do.
Your
Are
mic
you
is
knocking a man for working a
crackling.
job? Hilarious, but go ahead.
Look, Ken. All right. So, well, So you were the one that actually initiated the removal of Pink Pony because she wanted.
Oh, I definitely had a part in it. I definitely had a
Where
part in
were
it.
you?
And that was just, it was so scrumptious to
What was your
see
part in it?
watching her get kicked out and then have to go
It
stand
was
on the corner
scrumptious. Where
and
did you
film.
watch
It's
that, by the
fucking
way, Ken?
hilarious.
Be honest with
I
me,
watched
bro.
it later.
Ken,
Where
you
did you
weren't
watch
there.
that? Where did you watch that go down?
I watched it later. As I
Where?
just said,
On my fucking
on my
TikTok.
phone.
Wait, but you
On my
said you had a
phone.
part of it.
Hey,
You said
Pink, I think you're going to have to come back because your mic is crackling
I
for
said,
some
what
reason.
now?
You said you had a part of it, and then now you said you
Yeah,
watched
no,
it.
no.
later.
I had a conversation with people and I made sure that she got her ass kicked out of the door. So it was great. I enjoyed it.
So you're proud of that?
Yeah, I'm proud of it.
You said a little slurry. Just saying.
She was harmless. Did you think she was harmful to the event?
No, I'm just happy to see that somebody who paid for travel and accommodation to come down there and harass her book signing got booted.
It
at the door.
wasn't
I just really enjoyed
harassing.
that.
No one was
Well,
there
you
to
might have a different,
harass.
you might have a
Do you have
different term
proof
for
of
it,
this
but
harassment?
Wait,
that's the
guys,
term
one
I
at a
have for
time.
Bag?
and I just really enjoyed it. So I had
Okay,
my
so
fun that
you
day,
enjoyed
but
it.
that day's
Starlight,
over.
go ahead.
I could care less.
It says a lot.
Well, I'm just stuck on the harassing thing because that is not what that was about whatsoever. You're turning it into that because
we beg to
Gypsy's
differ.
the
That's
ultimate
fine.
victim, right?
Agree to disagree.
I don't see
Which
any
What,
harassment there.
what
You don't
about
want
it
me to
was
say
Of course
that.
you
harassing?
wouldn't. I mean, I'm talking to a panel of haters right now. I don't expect you to see
That
my
is not
point.
true.
Like,
Or
but I'm
Kizzle.
telling you that I find it hilarious that if somebody traveled down there to cause drama and trouble at her
She
book signing
traveled down.
event and
Okay,
made
so
sure
I'm
that
gonna
she
I'm gonna
got
set you
kicked
straight
out
on
He
this,
was
Ken.
not
and
there
sent to
to
the
cause
corner, I
trouble.
find, I find
Unless we
hilarity
get
in
Pink
that.
Pony back up, but maybe I'm speaking out of terms here. But she didn't just travel down there for the hell of it. Okay, she went down there for a purpose to actually just
Justice for Dee Dee. She was there to
record some of the
record.
stuff and document it, and that was about
Yeah.
it. There was no
I mean, you can phrase it however you want to phrase it, but I see it as harassment.
There
to
was
my
no
girlfriend,
plans for
How
harassment
mother of
at
my
all.
child,
You got it
and
wrong,
I
buddy.
What
enjoyed
about
watching
hold on,
her
I have a
get her
question.
refund
harassment.
handed to her
How?
face and sent packing. I really enjoyed it.
You
And
sent her
nothing could take
packing.
that.
Did they record when Gypsy and her friend drove by somebody's work? Did Lifetime film that? When Gypsy and her friend took a little ride past somebody's work. You remember that?
I have
Did you
no
not?
idea what you're talking about because I was not a part of
Wow.
that.
Bullshit.
You
There's no
didn't hear
bullshit.
about
I'm
it?
That's
telling you
sad.
the
If he
I
really
guarantee
doesn't
Gypsy
know,
said something about it.
Ken's
if he
got
really
that
doesn't,
confidence
a
juice. I
liar.
want to
telling
give
you right
Pink
now, I
Pony.
have no fucking idea what you're talking
Whoa,
about.
whoa,
So
calm down,
what
Ken.
are you talking about? Tell me.
So what they're referring to here is when Gypsy and Bree drove past Ivory Rose Grove's job, and this was discussed heavily. So I'm not sure how Ken would not know about this. So he's either lying or Gypsy never told him, in which both of those things are equally concerning. I think that this live was very telling as Ken is now starting to show his true colors. This is probably the most confrontational he's ever been during a live stream. And he's just being very rude and very reckless. And again, I don't know why he even joined the panel to begin with. I really don't. But now the panel is going to circle back to questions about Gypsy's potential induction. And it seems that Ken is confused or he's just not understanding what Becca Scoops is trying to say.
The only reason you induce 2 weeks early is over a health concern. Okay.
Ken,
Well, I
do
think
you-
he's-
can you confirm that
No,
rumor
absolutely
of
not. I
health
mean,
concern for your baby?
I mean, that's a very generic approach. I mean, sometimes babies are born a little bit early.
You just know this as a rule of thumb that in a normal pregnancy, when there are no health concerns, the doctor wants to keep the baby go full term. They do not want the baby to come early under any circumstances, because the first thing is there's going to be a problem with the lungs. Okay. Now, luckily, that didn't happen with your daughter, even though she was born pretty early. That's kind of early. That's called preterm at 36 weeks.
Now, Ken's mother, Raina, actually joined Sir Morbid's panel the night after this live stream. And just as Becca mentioned something about the baby's lungs, Ken's mother said that Gypsy was getting shots for the baby's lungs to develop because prior to her giving birth at her, I believe she said 36-week appointment, but don't quote me on it, Gypsy had started to dilate. So you go weekly once you start getting closer to that birth date. And every time Gypsy went to an appointment, she was dilating more. So they suspected that the baby could possibly be coming sooner, and Gypsy was getting these shots for the baby to help baby's lungs develop.
So no, a doctor would not induce 2 weeks before a due date. It just doesn't happen unless there's a reason. And Ken, that's her I don't need to know why. I just wanted to set the record straight.
It's actually insane that I have to tell somebody who used to work as a nurse this, but actually sometimes babies are born a little bit earlier than their due date.
Yes, they are, but they're not
And
induced.
that
They're
was the
not
case
induced
with
early.
our
They're
daughter.
not induced
Okay,
early.
well, you said that she was induced 2 weeks. Okay, the induction date was supposed to be less than 1 week before her original due date planned from the beginning. But
But
these
you
things
don't
are
induce.
never finite. They're never solidified, and sometimes we'll see what happens. And our baby was born a little bit early, but nothing to the point of being
A
sent to the
little bit.
NICU.
You said the
Nothing of
16th
being
again on December, right?
the 16th of January was supposed to be her induction date, but
I
she was
want to
born a
ask
little
any
bit
mother out
earlier.
there. I want to ask any mother out there that's had a baby if the doctor ever decided to induce you early
No.
for no reason.
Absolutely not.
Can I say what I want to say now?
Okay. Well, listen,
After Ken.
sometimes cases are different than the norm, but the
Oh my
point is
God,
our baby
Ken.
was born perfectly healthy and
And I'm
perfectly
happy.
happy.
So
Okay,
happy for
perfect.
that.
So I don't
Genuinely.
exactly know what you're arguing against here,
I'm
but
just arguing that it wasn't smooth. It wasn't for no
it
reason.
absolutely
That's
was a
it's
smooth
like saying
delivery. There
But
was no.
Ken,
I saw
pushed it
your
out in
video
15
where you
minutes, all
talked
that
about how she
bullshit.
was a C-section, like, and all this. She wasn't. She
who,
was a
Becca
Probably
natural
should have
Scoop's
birth.
been a
video?
planned C-section if it was going to be induced. I don't know. I wasn't there. I'm just saying what I know of.
You know
My
who put out
professional
that
opinion.
Okay, but I'm
misinformation,
just telling
Ken?
you
Bree.
that
you
Bree
you
put
shouldn't
out
put out
that
you shouldn't put out
misinformation about the
disinformation until
C-section.
you know exactly what you're talking about. And the baby was born on December 28th, and she was 100% healthy. She got sent home with us the next day or 2 days later, and she's been an amazing baby ever since. She's been growing regularly. She's been weighing regularly. She's been gaining weight. Everything has been great. So
Let's
there's
all bring
absolutely
Ken.
no cause for concern here. There's no room for whatever you're trying to spin. I don't know what it is, but we're lucky and we're happy and we're blessed that Aurora was born totally happy, totally healthy, and she's been growing and she's been doing amazing ever since. So
Okay, so
sometimes babies are born a little bit earlier than their due date, and that happens. But the point
totally,
is, she
yeah.
was born with a full head of hair. She was born totally formed. She was totally healthy, and we couldn't be happier that that was the case. So there really is no reason to dilly dally in the this and that and the possibilities and the semantics and the questions, and it's just like, if you want to do that, that's fine. But I'm telling you right now that I have literally no motive to lie, absolutely no motive to lie,
We're
that she
not
was a natural
questioning that.
birth. And she's totally healthy, and she's been great. She's been a great baby. She'll turn 4 weeks on Saturday, and we couldn't be happier. And
Okay.
I don't understand, and that's all there is
Nina,
to say.
your camera's on. Turn it off, and then I'll bring you up because I don't know if your camera's on.
So I think that there might have been confusion there because he said that the induction date was the 16th, and then I asked, well, why was the baby born on the 28th? He said the baby came early. So I think that Gypsy wasn't induced on the 28th. The baby came
No,
on
I
the
didn't.
28th,
I'm
and she
never.
wasn't induced. Unless I'm wrong, I could be wrong, but that's how I understood it.
Haiti, I know that she wasn't induced. It's that when a regular pregnancy, and after this, let's not talk about it anymore. In a regular pregnancy, people don't get induced unless
Okay.
it's late or there's a health concern. No, she
Under
wasn't
no
induced.
circumstance do they induce you at 36 weeks. And
That's
that's
Nina,
coming
by
from
the
a
way.
mother of 2 kids.
Well, that
Under
it
no
wasn't supposed to
circumstance.
be. All right, dude,
Under
you really dropped this
no
fucking drill on, dude. I
circumstance.
swear to God.
Wait,
Under
Ken.
no
Wait, hold on,
circumstance.
guys. Hold on. I know.
I didn't know you had a vagina. Oh, and maybe
First of
you
all,
do.
I mean, if you were
Actually, I
too,
wouldn't be
I mean,
surprised.
obviously you're too fucking stupid to realize that she wasn't induced at
Your
36
mama.
weeks.
You and your
Okay,
Ken,
mama.
yeah,
That's
classic.
you and
Ken,
your
you
mama.
gentlemen,
You
come
and your
on, bro.
mammy.
So she was
You
supposed to
and
be
your
induced at
mammy.
38 weeks.
And
All right,
you've
yeah,
always
calm
been
down.
a
Calm
liar.
down,
So
chick.
why would you come
Calm
on here
down.
telling the truth now? You're a liar.
Calm
We
down.
know
No,
that.
you're a fucking
Just like
liar, and
Cowboy
everything you
Bear,
posted
you
has
were
been
bent
lies.
over with
Yeah,
Cowboy Bear. You
yeah,
came
okay.
up here and
So
lied,
response.
All
right?
right, guys, hold
Yeah,
on one
that's what
second.
You
you
have
Ooh,
two
do.
this
You
is a
calm
guy
lie.
down.
on your panel, this
You've
Let's
been
absolute fucking
lying.
relax. Let's
lunatic.
You've
relax.
been
She's literally the
lying.
next
You're a
fancy,
liar.
first of all. Second of all, she would have been induced at 38 weeks if you can do your fucking math right, but you can't because you're fucking stupid. So she was
Wow.
born at 36 weeks, like I said, 2 weeks earlier than the induction date. So yeah, get your math
Let's
right,
be
girl.
respectful, Ken. Come on. No need to throw that
You're actually
jab.
telling me to be respectful? I swear.
Yeah, but I
Well,
didn't know
both.
that you had a coochie because you're up here speaking to women about childbirth.
That's
Okay,
true.
Okay?
so
So
again,
you need
you
to act
are
like
no,
you
listen,
got
listen,
some
listen,
sense.
Let
listen.
Ken and
You're
Nina talk because I think
Act
Well, we
like you
got to.
have some sense. You're out
okay.
here
So first of
acting
all,
like you're a
again,
woman.
like I
Yes, I know
said,
you act
she's
like a woman
okay. She keeps
sometimes,
raising
but
her
yes, you're
voice.
Hold
not
This is
woman.
the kind of
on.
person that she
We don't
is.
want him to rage
Loudmouth,
quit.
lunatic, loser.
Wait,
So she
wait,
says that
Ken,
baby,
back
her
up.
baby would have
The
been induced at
loser's not going to
36
get you.
weeks.
Okay, go
I'm
ahead.
talking to you right
Yeah,
now.
all I'm gonna
So
do
she
is
said that the
grab your
baby.
ass when I
Okay,
get off of
she
here.
keeps
Play with
talking. She
me.
keeps talking. All right. So like I said, she said that the baby would induce at 36 weeks. She wasn't induced at 36 weeks. She was born at 36 weeks. She would have been induced at 38
So
weeks.
she was
Yeah.
But
induced
again, you
earlier.
can't critically think.
Yeah.
Nigga,
No.
Pitocin is inducing. Pitocin is inducing. But that's what we're talking
You
about.
don't
You
even
do
know what
not
you're
know
talking
what
about.
you're speaking about.
I know
They don't
exactly what I'm
give
speaking about.
Pitocin
You
unless
are
they're
a
inducing you.
All right.
Now, the reason that Nina is bringing up Pitocin here is because Gypsy said when she was on Bree's live that she was given Pitocin while she was at the hospital about to give birth. Pitocin is a medication that can help induce your labor. It can help strengthen your contractions, and it can also help to contract your uterus and basically further along the delivery process. And Gypsy did mention on that live with Bree that she had already been dilating previously to going to the hospital, but once she got to the hospital, her dilating kind of slowed down a little bit, so maybe the doctors gave her Pitocin to just move the labor along a little quicker. However, Pitocin is also very commonly used when women go in for inductions. So without going into a whole full-blown birthing educational session, just know that Pitocin can be used for both situations.
1,100 people in the chat, and we've got a lot of mothers. Any mother, can you tell me if you were induced early for no reason? That you had a great pregnancy and the doctor said, you know what, we're going to induce you 4 days before your due date. Please, someone put ones in the chat if that happened.
My daughter was born at 36
Because I guarantee you that has happened to no one.
So now we're going to go back to Pink Pony Club is going to come up on panel, and they're going to address these text messages between Ken and Fancy from 2019, where she's talking about having the complete inside story on Nicholas Godejohn. Now, these text messages are very old. I know that Fancy has talked about it and addressed it more recently, and this was back when the woman named Dawn was basically writing to Nicholas Godejohn and quote-unquote dating him to basically get information about him. Because while Fancy was still working with the Blanchards and before she had realized everything that she knows now, they didn't want Nicholas to get an appeal. They wanted him to stay right where he is at. So recently, people have started talking about these text messages again, and Pink Pony Club wants to ask Ken what this is all about.
Just thought I'd let you know we now have the complete inside story on Nick, and we intend to make sure that guy never gets an appeal or sees the light of day. Thank God Gypsy escaped that sociopath. Hope you are well. So I'm real curious what this conspiracy against Nick was. Is that about the text from Dawn? And I would hope that maybe Ken could give us a shred of honesty during this live and expose Fancy for whatever she's been doing to try and conspire against Nick Godejohn.
I'm actually the one that released the screenshot, but yeah, go ahead.
So you're goodwivesdish@gmail.com. That's you?
No, but I'm the one that posted this conversation.
So you have this entire Google Drive?
I don't know about the Google Drive, but the conversation between me and Fancy, I believe so. I do.
All right.
I have no idea.
Sure.
You're asking me to look back on a 6-year-old conversation and tell you what Fancy was doing. I have no idea. I'll tell you this, though. I don't like Fancy. I've never liked Fancy, and I disapprove of anything that she says and does. She's a maniac and insufferable lunatic who has been consumed by this entire story, and I have nothing else to say beyond that.
So now Nellie Belly is going to join the panel, and I believe she is a friend or was a friend of Dee Dee's during their childhood. So she knows Dee Dee's family.
I'm really puzzled by the relationship between Ken and Gypsy. Ken seems to not be in the loop of anything that they do, and I mean, if it
unless he's playing dumb.
Yeah, I mean, I can only speak from my own
Playing
personal
dumb? You're
experience
asking
in
me to like
relationships.
give you insight on a 6-year-old text conversation? You think that'd be
No, I
I'm
wasn't
playing
talking
dumb?
about
No,
that.
put it up. No, he's
Well-
not playing.
Ken, not.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
Oh,
Well,
you don't like Nina, Ken.
Uh-oh.
I think the feeling is mutual between them.
Mm-hmm.
I
You're
think
really
that Nina is
upset.
like a second. She's like a second to Fancy, somebody who's been entirely consumed by the Gypsy Rose, case that Gypsy Rose kind of owns and controls you and like forces
I'm
everything to say and
consumed.
do.
I didn't call
I
my
mean,
job. No, wait.
okay,
Let's clear
nobody
something
called your
up.
fucking job.
No, listen, yes. And Bree admitted to it. Your girlfriend has harassed me, or your baby mama, your hoe,
Listen,
whatever you want to
you
call
got
her.
fired from your job
yeah,
because you're
yeah.
an
Let
online
them
lunatic
work it out.
No. Listen, Ken,
That's
this
why you
would
got
have
fired from
never
your fucking job.
happened. I would have never. I didn't reach out to Gypsy. I'm
Listen,
not the one
only
sitting
reason
on
you got let
panels.
go of your job is
Listen,
because
you're
you're a
going to
lunatic,
listen to me.
obsessive bully who
Oh, okay.
nobody wants to have them work for them. So now
Okay.
you do what
Okay.
every other content creator does, and you shit out fake
Oh.
videos with false
Okay.
rumors and bullshit to get
Hey, how do
money
you know
on
that,
views, because
Ken,
that
that
is your
Nina
job
was a
now.
shitty
Okay.
employee and all that?
Because
Yeah.
that's all
Okay.
that you do now. You post fake
Oh,
news
okay.
and fake content to get views and
Oh,
clicks
okay.
for views
Okay,
and
but my
money.
stuff has
Because you
actually been
have
proven.
none
So
of your shit has been proven.
so
It's
the
all
fact that
false
stuff
and
has
it's all
checked out. Oh,
bullshit.
okay.
No, listen.
Oh,
The
okay.
reality is
Oh,
you have
okay.
nothing else. You have
You
nothing
sound really
else. You
angry,
have a
Ken. Why are
miserable
you big mad,
existence.
Kenyetta?
And no. Okay, yeah, that's a
What are
cute
you
little
upset
card to
about?
play because I'm shutting you the fuck down right now, and you know that I'm right.
Kenyetta,
Because
what are
the
you so
reality
upset
is you
about,
have no
Kenyetta?
life outside of Gypsy,
Kenyetta, why are
and
you
that
so
your
upset?
entire existence is built on
Kenyetta, why are
Gypsy,
you so
and you have
upset?
to post false
Kenyetta.
bullshit to get views and clicks to
Oh,
only
okay.
make you money
Okay.
because you have no other income otherwise.
They
You live with
post
your
about
mother,
me
and you
more.
have
I don't
nothing
live
going
with
on
my
in
Whoa,
your
mother.
life.
Ken,
You
let's
have
not
nothing going
throw
on
out
in
I
your life.
don't, but
accusations
that's
that are
fine.
not
That's just
true.
the reality here that I'm speaking.
She
I'm
doesn't live
speaking
with her
facts here.
mother.
Yeah,
You know,
you're
you have
like,
You have
you
zero
no
got a lot
proof.
of
other
nerve.
purpose or meaning in
But
your
the
life
fact that
other than
you're
to
a drug
spread
addict,
false
you
bullshit
had a
and
baby by a
rumors on
murderer, and you
Gypsy
want
Rose.
to talk shit about
You know,
someone you had a
listen,
baby by a
I'm not
murderer.
talking
Are you
shit. I'm
dumb?
talking facts
You
here,
got a lot
lady.
of
You know,
nerves.
you
Just the
have
fact that you
nothing
had a
else
baby
to
by a
do but to
murderer does
post
not
fake
qualify you to even speak
bullshit
to me.
on somebody who you've never met,
You
and that's
sound
a sad,
dumb.
miserable existence, and I pity you.
Okay.
I
Okay.
pity you.
Okay.
I
But
really
you're the
hope that
one,
you find
whatever.
something in your life that gives
Okay.
you purpose and
Okay.
meaning, because otherwise it's a
Okay.
sad life for
Okay.
you. So good luck,
Purpose,
lady.
like the
Good
way
luck.
Gypsy killed her mother? Is that the type
Right.
of
Okay.
purpose
So
you're
listen,
talking about?
everything that you
The fact
posted
that
about
Gypsy
Gypsy
used
in the
a
last
man
like
that
3
was
All right.
collecting
months
permanent
Okay. How about
disability?
this?
Is
Let's
that
see if
what you're
we
talking
We
about?
gotta.
if we can
anybody
go.
You're
who follows you
disgusting.
or
You're the
listens to
scum
your
of the
One
earth.
videos
at a
That's
is
what you're.
time.
No.
just as insane as you
You're
are.
the
So I feel
scum
bad
of
for
the
all of
earth.
them.
You
Also,
are the scum
you
of the
delete
earth.
comments and
You are
you
the
block
scum
people
of the
who
Wait.
earth.
might
Hold
go
on, Ken.
You
feed your
are the
narrative.
Gypsy
scum of
Rose
the
doesn't
earth.
delete comments. Gypsy doesn't delete comments.
Yeah, it's like it's such an
Come on,
oxymoron.
Ken.
They're the
Let's
ones
stay on the
upset
same
Nina,
page
do
because
you
I
delete
don't sit
comments?
on
Yes or
lives
no?
for days
Nina, do
talking.
you delete
Like,
comments?
come
Yes
on
or
Okay,
now.
no?
so Nina,
I can do what I want to do on
she
my
could do whatever
page.
she
Who are
deletes
you?
comments. So
Exactly. You try to
does
push a
Gypsy
narrative of
delete comments or
bullshit
not?
at any
Oh,
means
okay.
necessary, even if that means it's not the truth. That is your entire existence.
Oh,
You just
okay.
want the
But
money.
how?
You just want the
Even
clicks.
though
You
it's
just
not
want
the
the
truth,
views.
but the things I've
You
said have
are a
checked out.
sad
So how are you
person.
saying the stuff that checked out are lies? Like that doesn't even make any sense.
Listen,
You
all I
sound
tell is the
dumb.
truth, lady. You tell bullshit
Oh,
for
okay.
views.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
That's kind of
Like
untrue,
that we
Ken.
broke
Yeah.
up, like
Like
that I
he's a
lived with her
liar
and
though.
her
We know
parents,
that
like
about
all
him.
that bullshit that you spread,
Yeah.
it's just
Just
garbage.
like
Anybody who
Cowboy Bear
watches your content
Kenyatta.
is just as much
Okay.
stupid as you are. Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
and
Yeah.
go
Okay,
find your
play
boyfriend and
the already
cry.
debunked cowboy card. Okay, go
Okay.
ahead. Yeah.
No.
Is that all you have? Do you
Oh,
have
you're
anything else, Nina? Do
lying.
you have anything
You're
else?
lying.
Nothing else,
You're
huh? That's what I
lying.
thought. You're such as much of a
Oh, you
loser as
must
I
have
thought you
not had
were.
some dick in some time. You sound really
Ken, do you
Anything
really
hostile.
else?
hate Nina this
Anything
much, or
else?
is it Gypsy
You
that
sound
hates
really
Nina?
No,
hostile.
I don't hate Nina. I'm
You
just letting
sound
your
real
viewers
hostile.
know that she's a dumbass,
Oh,
and
you need
everybody
some
that
She's a
dick.
follows
You
the
need
dumbass.
some
Reddit
dick.
community also
Ken,
believe that she spreads
Oh.
false bullshit. You know, like
Okay.
she can't face anybody
Oh,
who critiques her.
Kenyatta.
She blocks and bans and deletes comments at anybody who goes
so
against her
Gypsy never
narrative
blocks or bans
because
anybody.
Oh,
it doesn't matter. The
Kenyatta.
point
How cute,
is that
Kenyatta.
she's miserable and pathetic, and it's sad, and I
Okay.
pity you.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
all right.
Right. You
But
got
go ahead
it.
and keep it going. Because
Does anybody
Nina,
want to
Okay.
take a
All right,
it's
poll?
all you
Kenyatta.
have.
You got
It's
it.
all you have. You
All right.
have nothing else. You have
Okay.
no identity
Okay.
opposite
If you
Gypsy
think
Rose.
I'm offended by a
Gypsy
man
Rose
that
owns
had a
and
baby by a
controls
murderer,
you, and you
you
know
are
that I'm
wild.
right, and
Okay, so
therefore,
Ken, I'm gonna have to disagree
yeah,
with
laugh
that.
it off. That's all you got.
Hold on one second.
Gypsy
You're a
Rose
clown.
owns and controls you. Do you have any
Ken, I
content
have to
opposite of
disagree
her?
with that
No.
because
Actually, I have
Nina can do
lot
other
more
content.
content other than his,
Yeah.
other than
Well,
Gypsy.
listen,
So
it
what are you
speaks for
talking about?
itself, and it ain't speaking
Oh,
very
okay.
loud. So,
Oh, okay.
Ken, how do you feel about people accusing Gypsy for collecting blood money? Because the only reason why she's making money is because of what she did to her mother.
that's your perspective. And
What is your
and
perspective on
the
that?
same can be said about you, Morbid. What are you making your money off of right now?
Your wife
Posting
or
Gypsy Rose
your
content
mistress.
every other night, right? So
I
in a
make money
way,
off your
you know,
mistress.
you're
Says jobless Ken
finding
that
money
lives
on
off
him.
of his
But I
Actually,
don't
I
make
murderous
do
money
baby
work.
off.
mama.
Unlike you, Nina, I do
Really?
have an
That's
actual job.
crazy.
Unlike you, but keep posting your false
That's
bullshit
Unlike
videos to make money
Gypsy.
because that's all you have, right?
Unlike Gypsy.
Okay,
Ken, I'm just
Ken.
asking you a serious
No, I'm
question.
just speaking. I'm speaking the truth. Am I not, Nina? I am.
I don't know if you
Nina
are.
didn't murder anybody.
Ken, I know
You
you're
need some.
That's a nice little cop out argument, but
Go
the
ahead,
reality is you
money.
post fake, false bullshit, fake news to get money, right? Yes.
And what does Gypsy post to make money?
She doesn't
She
post
always
shit. Have you not seen that she
that
hasn't
her
posted
neighbors
anything in
are
a
checking
while?
out.
She lives her
I
life.
actually have pictures of everything, Ken. I have pictures of everything. I'm telling you, because
Post
I
it,
will
lady. Post it. I'm telling you to
see on
post
this
it.
internet.
Post your pictures, lady. You ain't got shit.
Ken, you're
All
feisty
right.
thanite, baby.
Don't
It's
Nina's got
it's
shit.
it's
Nina's a
different.
fucking miserable loser who just has to post fake shit to get views and clicks. That's who she is. She has no identity or personality opposite of Gypsy Rose. Everybody who fucking watches this shit knows that's the truth. And anybody who actually believes her nonsense is just as stupid as she is. So go ahead. And if you want to follow a lunatic
That's
into the
wild.
blind, you go
Rose.
ahead.
For
I have
Ken.
a serious question. Nothing
Okay,
about
go
the
ahead.
book or anything. Okay, so I've heard certain content creators encouraging people to call CPS on Gypsy already, like even before the baby was born. What do you have to say about that?
I think
I
it's
think it's
all just
awful,
normal
personally, but I want to know what
hater
you wanted to say.
behavior. It's just stupid because Aurora's in great hands. She's got a great loving mother. She's got a great loving father. She's got a great supportive and loving family, grandparents, etc. And she's gonna have a great life. So you can do whatever the hell you want, but
I don't think people.
Aurora
I
is
do not
has a
think people
great
should
family.
call CPS. I do
No, yeah,
not
I don't
agree with
agree with
that.
that at all. That's why I
Uh-uh.
wanted to know what you thought. I'm
Yeah,
not for that.
it's absolutely ridiculous. All I can tell you
Can
is
you
to
give us
watch the
something?
show. I can't give you anything. Watch the show and you'll see.
Mhm.
But Aurora is born to a very happy and loving family, and she's going to have an amazing life. And she's been great so far. She's been the most amazing baby. She's been growing, and she's been eating, and she's great. And she's a
You keep
complete joy.
saying she's been eating, like,
And
I
growing.
mean,
Yeah,
Can I
she's been
ask?
eating and she's been growing. I have to up her bottle every week. That's what I mean by that. And
Are you
she's
getting enough
gaining weight.
sleep?
She's adorable. She's a sweetheart. She's got a full
Any
head of hair. She's
what
got
no
green eyes.
failure to
can
try.
I want to give
Adorable.
Nelly a chance to ask a question before you
Yeah, for
leave there,
sure.
Ken, because I know you only got 30 seconds.
Ken, I am not a creator, actually. I am in the Justice for DD movement. So I have a question, if that's okay with you.
call CPS? Like, why does their kid matter to us?
Hold on, Nina. Ken, is it okay?
That just shows what a cold-hearted fucking loser you are, Nina. But go ahead.
All right, Nelly Belly, go ahead.
Okay, so you just made a statement about your daughter has a loving family, with grandparents. So my question, how do you feel about the fact that, your daughter's going to grow up one day and she's going to hear everything, that happened, and she's going to have questions. And if it wouldn't be for the fact that, Morbid and his community and us here in the Petrie family side, got an urn, how would you have felt bringing your daughter? Because I'm sure, as she one day would ask, to maybe go and see her grandmother and her great grandmother. Do you feel about the fact that she's gone? And it's kind of heartbreaking.
I'm going to do everything that I can as a father to raise my daughter in the best life that I can and give her everything that I can as a father. And Gypsy's going to give her everything that she can as a mother. We have a loving and great and big circle around us. We have my family. We have my parents, meaning her grandparents. We have Christy and Rod, her grandparents on Gypsy's side. And of course, there's going to be a day where we have to explain the situation of, of Gypsy's life. And that is a day that we intend to all sit down as a family together and explain the facts as they happened. And when that day comes, we will do it. And my entire goal and my entire focus is to just give Aurora the best life that I can as her father. And that's what I intend to do. I will never walk away from my child. I will never step away. I will never temporarily leave. I will always be there for her. And so will Gypsy. She has been an incredible mother so far, and I expect that to continue on into the rest of our lives. And we're very lucky and we're very blessed that we have Rod, we have Christy, we have my mother Raina, we have my father, we have everybody around us to help bring Aurora into this world as best we can. And that is entirely what my focus is on. I don't dread certain things. I don't look negatively on certain things. All I look at is what is the best way that I, as her father, can positively bring her into a happy world and existence. And that is what I anticipate to do.
Okay, now how do you intend to do that if you don't know what the hell Gypsy's doing? Because apparently, you're like, oh, I don't know this, and oh, I don't recollect that. So, I mean, do you
I
plan to
know
be more involved in
I
Gypsy's
know
life?
enough. I know what's important. I know what matters. Okay. And we don't have to get lost in these arbitrary weeds that are irrelevant. Okay. I'm here for what matters and what's important, and I will always be a part of that,
Did
and I
Dee
will give
Dee's
her the
life
best life
matter,
I can.
Ken?
It's a legit question. Did Dee Dee's life matter?
So you guys want to get
According to
like
you.
you guys want to get into some kind of like side conversation here about whatever y'all's narrative
I don't
is?
know.
It's not
'cause
about a narrative.
I have. Okay, y'all have y'all's narrative and what you believe the story is.
we
and I
want to know
have
your
what I know the
Question.
story is,
thoughts.
and I'm
And
not
It's a
gonna.
yes or no question.
Like I said, I'm not gonna get lost in these arbitrary weeds.
You
I
don't know
told you
what the
what my
story
intention
is, Ken.
and my purpose is, and that's what I'm gonna do.
all I'm saying is
So,
I don't feel like anybody's life is an arbitrary need
Yeah.
as you're
and
categorizing it. But
So let
okay,
me ask
well
him.
you can put words in my mouth if you want to,
I'm not.
but the point that I'm trying to make is you have your narrative and we have ours,
And I would love
and
to
we
hear
are not
yours.
going to agree. We are not going to agree. So
That's
therefore,
okay, Ken.
okay.
Well,
I just
And
wanted to
you're
hear
right.
your
That is
thoughts
okay.
about it.
That is
the
okay.
point. That's why
No,
he
I
asked,
already
so
know
he
what
can
your
know your
thoughts are, and you
perspective.
know what my thoughts are, and we're on two separate
Okay.
sides.
I don't know
And
what your
that's
thoughts are.
fair
That's why
enough.
I'm asking you. What would you
Okay.
explain to
Well,
your daughter? And because you were talking about it.
that
And,
conversation that I have with her will be our conversation.
all
It
right.
does not
Cool.
need to be had right now.
And
Okay.
you're
And you can
comfortable.
have your narrative spin, and we'll have our side. And
So
Well,
Your
I'll
narrative
answer
spin.
for you that Dee Dee's life absolutely mattered, and that's what we're going to
I
make
mean,
sure everybody knows.
could we agree there that maybe justice for Dee Dee in the sense that she didn't deserve to die or be killed in such a heinous way?
again, you have your narrative, and we
So
Could
have
we-
you
our
think
side.
you deserve that,
And I'm not
Ken?
gonna dive into these arbitrary weeds with you. I'm just not
Are
gonna.
you
You're not
That's
sure?
fair.
really.
Okay.
You're
Okay,
not.
so
relating
Listen,
can I ask
relating
listen.
to
another question?
that.
Honestly, you
Hold
have
on.
your opinion. Morbid, Nicole, everybody else on this panel, Hate T, everybody, you have your opinion. Okay, and that's fine. Opinions
All
are
right.
respectable.
It was
That's
just
fine.
it was a
We have
question to you,
ours as
brother.
well.
That was it.
Okay, now
Okay.
I have another question real quick, okay, before you leave. All right, so Aurora's gonna have your family and Rod and Christy. But what about the Petries?
That's what I was gonna ask. I'm so glad you asked that.
Anybody who wants to be a part of Aurora's life on either sides of our family is more than welcome.
Okay, so the
You know,
Petries are
if they want to
interested
be.
in being a part of Aurora's life. Can you make
Because
that
they're all
happen?
they Aurora
Then
is
they
all
are
they
more
have
than
left.
welcome.
Hold on
Anybody
one
who
second.
is
Go ahead.
anybody who is willing to be a part of Aurora's life, whether it be on my side, the Ukers, whether it be on the Blanchards, the Petries, anybody is welcome
Okay,
to be
so
a part of
I know
Aurora's
for a
life.
fact that the Petries want to be a part of Aurora's life. Will you make that happen for them?
If they want to reach out to me, they are more than welcome to.
Okay,
Does Gypsy
can I
feel the
reach
same
out
way?
on their behalf to you and get that to work?
Sure.
Okay, there we go.
I hope that's true.
But
I'm
it doesn't
holding you
have to
to
be
it.
through
I'm
you.
holding you
I
to that.
imagine the Petries have ways to contact the Blanchards, ways to contact
But
anybody
they
else
don't
in
want
their
to speak to
family.
the Blanchards. They want to speak to you and Gypsy.
Okay, well then they are more than welcome to contact me directly if they wish. Hey, so Morbid, you build your identity, or your channel on truth, right? You play that in your opening clips, right? So
Yeah.
why do you seem to like bootlick and like tolerate all of like Nina's garbage that she posts on her channel and like subsequently brings to your live? Like you never seem to like
That's not
question
true, Ken.
her or like fact check her for anything. You just believe all of her garbage and nonsense. Like why is
Where
that?
did you
That's
hear
my
me
question.
say that I believe everything? I
Well,
respect
like
her
when
as
she
a
comes on your
creator
channel
and a
and she
person.
plays, she talks about how like we broke up and that like I lived with her during the hurricane.
She
all
has
this kind
every
of
right
garbage.
to express herself.
Yeah,
and-
but like you
Exactly.
don't ever like vet it or like second guess it. You
How
just
would you
like
vet
accept
that?
But dude, I'm not a professional. I mean, a journalist. I'm a fucking dancing monkey here. I
it. I
entertain.
know, but like I just thought like somebody who like builds their channel on truth might maybe want to vet like the
I don't
constant
build my
arbitrary
channel
garbage that gets spewed,
specifically
right?
on truth.
Okay.
I
Well,
try my
it's in your intro.
best,
That's the only reason why I said that.
but everybody can
Say
have
that
an
truth
opinion
matters,
just
right?
like you. I'm not vetting you on all the information you're giving me right now. I'm believing
Well, the
and
only
having
difference
faith.
between me and content creators is I have absolutely no reason to lie. Well, they
What?
do.
Bro, come on,
Because
What?
dude.
Come
listen,
on.
let me explain before you react. I
Come
have no
on.
reason to lie,
Scratch.
but they do because
You
they
don't
get
have
views, clicks,
You
and monetary gain off of those lies.
now.
So this part where Ken says he has absolutely no reason whatsoever to lie just killed me, because it's like, yes, you do. Gypsy Rose Blanchard is your girlfriend and mother to your child. You have every reason in the world to lie, to protect her, to protect them. And I'm so tired of the argument that content creators just make things up out of thin air for clicks and views and monetary gain. It just can't be further from the truth. Are there content creators that do things like that? Yes, of course. Me personally, I will never just make something up out of thin air to post it to get views and likes and to make money. Because if you're going to be a content creator that is constantly doing that and putting out false stories that you know are false, that is only going to hurt you in the long run, because you're not going to have integrity and people are not going to trust you. That's why it's so important when you get information from people or you have sources that you cite your sources. This is where I heard it from. It's alleged. A source told me they're anonymous.
Would have no reason to lie to you. You know, especially when it comes to these things like,
Did her mom
we break
abuse
up?
her?
Protect
Or
her.
In your mind?
absolutely her mother abused her.
Okay, how
And
so?
are we still together? Or is our baby real or fake? Is the pregnancy fake, etc.? Like, what reason or motive would I have to lie to
Because
those
the woman
questions?
you're with has a history of lying and lying and lying and lying,
So
Ken.
you say that's your
Honey,
interpretation.
I've got
That's
videos
your
proving it over and
interpretation.
over and
Well,
over and
your
over and
content is
over again.
biased. Okay.
Whoa.
Over again.
Look at
listen,
you, buddy.
You
You're the content
listen,
king.
listen. I'm telling you right now, okay,
You are
with full
just.
honesty.
What the hell are you on, Urkizzle? What the hell is
I'm
going
high
on?
on life, but I'm telling you right now, like, there's literally no reason to lie about our child. Why would I lie about the baby's due date?
No
Why
one's
would I lie
questioning you
about
about lying
the
about your
fact that
child,
it's real?
brother.
Oh, maybe you're not
We're
morbid, but
not.
people
No,
on your panel
we
and your
moved
chat
on.
do.
Oh,
Okay.
you're talking
And
about
then,
the fake
and then
pregnancy.
also
Okay.
just
The
like
internet
also like
does
different
that.
details.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
people on the
Like,
internet
or that I
definitely
live
do
in that I live in Dallas, or that I live in Austin with my mom, or that, all these ridiculous rumors that get spewed out by people on your panel
That's not
that you don't
true.
ever seem to second guess. You
Well,
know, you don't
Ken,
ever seem
I
to kind of
understand
like
that can
vet
be
that information.
frustrating. That's frustrating, but being a part of the
No, it's not
public
frustrating.
sphere.
It's kind of hilarious. I laugh at it
Well,
I
good.
bet. I
totally
bet
There
you
you
honest.
laugh.
go.
I
But the
bet
fact
you.
that you don't ever vet it or look into it is just what I'm asking about. Like,
Ken,
you build your
do you
your
vet the
channel on
information
Truth
that you've
Matters,
received
but
in regards to your baby mama? Have you vet
say
all
again?
that information? Did you vet all the
Yes.
doctors that diagnosed Gypsy Rose with,
It's
or
obvious
Dee
and
Dee
apparent
Blanchard
to
with
me.
Munchausen by
It's
proxy?
obvious and apparent to me.
Did you vet those psychiatrists and psychologists?
Absolutely.
Oh, you
I
did?
vetted
Can
all
you
the
name those
information
psychologists and
presented in front of me.
psychiatrists
And
that
to me,
actually
it's an obvious
diagnosed?
conclusion,
And there aren't any.
but doesn't seem to be so much for you and your community. But
Did
that's
you
fine.
vet
We
the?
agree to disagree.
So you vet those psychiatrists, psychologists that actually did the diagnosis of Munchausen by proxy for Dee Dee.
I vetted everything, and to me, it's obvious and apparent. But to your community, it
What was the
doesn't seem
vetting
so.
process of that?
Yeah.
And that's
I'm
we can
interested
just
in
agree
that.
to disagree on that. Like I said,
You can't diagnose a
Ken,
dead
you
I
didn't.
don't have enough time to go down this.
Can't
Ken, you
diagnose
did
a
not
dead
vet
person.
anybody because there's nobody.
It's
You can't
absolutely
diagnose a
obvious and apparent.
corpse, sir. I'm sorry.
Okay, well, the details speak for themselves.
What
Okay?
detail?
I mean,
Yeah, actually,
okay,
they do.
They
so
do.
you're
Yeah,
claiming
you're right. And they
you're
don't look
claiming that
good for
Gypsy was
her.
never a victim of child abuse?
No.
Not
Okay.
medical
Wait,
child
what kind of
abuse.
abuse?
Not
So
medical
Yeah,
child
not
okay,
abuse.
so is
medical.
it not child abuse to pull your kid out of school? Is it not child
Okay,
abuse
No.
Ken,
to make your kid sit in a
hold on.
wheelchair knowing she can walk? Is it not
That
child
did
abuse
Yeah,
to
Ken,
shave your kid's head to give the appearance of
to
being
shave your
sick,
kid's head.
knowing that
No,
Ken,
she's not?
That's not
Okay.
Munchausen.
Yes,
it's
it
not
is. It
medical
No, it's
child
not.
absolutely
abuse.
is.
I agree.
Yes, it is.
Dee Dee,
It's absolutely 100% child abuse.
Ken,
And if you
I
don't agree
said
with
it
that, that's
wasn't
fine.
Ken,
You're fueled
Munchausen.
by a narrative.
Okay,
Ken,
But
Ken.
you're not going to
but
get a
that's the
fight
facts
from
of the
me
case here.
saying that Dee Dee was a stellar mother. You're
Ken,
not
let
going
me
to get
play
a fight
devil's
from me
advocate,
with
and
me on
I'm
that.
Hold
going
on.
to agree with you.
If it wasn't child abuse, then do it to your own kids.
Ken,
Never-
Just that it's
I
not
think he just
medical
really wants to
child abuse.
believe Gypsy no matter what she says, and it's kind of sad.
Why?
Like, he
But
just like can't open his
No,
mind up to the
I'm
possibility.
a fact finder. I can think for myself, and it's
okay,
very
I
obvious and
hope so.
apparent
Okay, I
what
have a
the
question.
facts of this case are.
Dee Dee
But
never made her sick. Never made her
well,
sick.
all right. So
that's
all of
your
the
She
opinion.
stuff,
was
Ken.
sick.
So this is basically it. About a minute or so after this, Ken ends up leaving the live stream and he agrees to having a conversation with the Petries about potentially being in Aurora's life. And like I said, if you'd like to watch the entire live stream, we did cover majority of it in this video. I will link it in the description of my video. Ken's mother does go on Sir Morbid's panel the night after Ken went on Morbid's panel. So that live is interesting as well. If you guys haven't checked that one out yet, I may do a video going over the key points of that one as well. So let me know what your guys' thoughts about this live stream were. I'm just confused as to why Ken continues to join these live streams, why Gypsy keeps going live with Bree, why Gypsy says she's gonna leave social media but then post like 500 pictures on her Instagram. Like, it's just so back and forth, and it's like you'd think after having a baby they would kind of want to detach from all of that, but for some reason they're not. And the next season of Gypsy Show, Life After Lockup, is scheduled to air in March. TikTok is back up and running, but we don't know if the app is actually here to stay. If it is, I will for sure be live streaming the show on my TikTok account. So if you guys haven't already, go over there and give me a follow. And with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. Please do me a favor and give this video a thumbs up. If you enjoyed it, consider subscribing, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.